Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 19th episode of the Daily Attorney Podcast, where we talk to women attorneys all over the United States who are simply amazing at what they do inside and outside of the legal profession. Our guest today is the founder of the law offices of Jonelle Ocloo, LLC, Ms. Ocloo. She is an experienced attorney who concentrates her practice in all areas of immigration law. She is a member of the Maryland State Bar Association and the District of Columbia Bar. She is also the past chair of the immigration law section of the Maryland State Bar Association. She performs regular community service work. And prior to opening her own law firm, Ms. Ocloo was an associate and supervising attorney of one of the largest immigration boutique firms in the country. She has been practicing immigration law for 17 years, which is a long time. And she is a proud graduate of Yale Law School. She received her Bachelor of Arts degree, magna cum laude, from the College of William and Mary in Virginia. Ms. Ocloo, welcome to the Daily Attorney Podcast. I know today we just get
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Today we get a teeny tiny snippet because I know both of our schedules are probably more chaotic than we would like them to be. So I want to focus, really hard. Good morning today. Thank you for joining us. And we just want to focus on some things. So I think, for me, one of the interesting things that I find is we all kind of have a very different path to law, right? So can you kind of just talk to us, like what made you decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to go to law school, but I'm going to do immigration law. And this is where I'm going to stay for 17 years.
Okay. All right. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on your program. I know our time is short today, but I'm so pleased that you chose to speak with me today. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Okay. All right. So my path into law and specifically immigration law, I'll just be honest. I am not one of these people who always wanted to be a lawyer or I always wanted to be an immigration lawyer. Frankly, no. When I decided to go to law school, my plan was never to be a lawyer. I was just going to go to law school, get a law degree, and do something totally different. In fact, I was interested in diplomacy. I was interested in international development. And I saw that, wow, there are a lot of great people who have done amazing things, who started off as lawyers. Some of my personal role models that I look up to, like Gandhi or Nelson Mandela, they started off as lawyers. So I thought, okay, law school, that's a great place to get a grounding, but I didn't actually think I would be a lawyer. And here I am, 17 years later doing immigration, and I love it. So I'm very happy that I went along this path, even though it was never my original plan.
Well, that's good. Clearly it worked out, right? And I think some of the best paths and ideas and destinations are born from not knowing how this is going to work out, right? And you just take a leap of faith and you say, you know what, I'm going to do this. Yeah. But, I find that diplomacy and international development, that's amazing. That is quite the feat. I've talked to some, individuals in the past. One of my guests, she actually teaches, international studies. Oh, wow. And I remember when I took international law in law school, it was just, whoa, this was not for me. So for you to just, and being a diplomat, right? It's challenging work. You don't just show up for the job and say, all right, I'll learn as I go, right. So I thought that was quite interesting. I love how you say Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. So I actually have two books that I read quite often. One of them is Gandhi's stories and his quotes and so forth and so on. And the other one is Nelson Mandela's.
Wow.
So they're identical types of publications, but they have resonated with me so much, over the years. So it's nice to meet someone who, their story and their lives have touched you also. Right. So when you graduate and you say, okay, I'm going to do this immigration law thing, did you face like any challenges or was it easy for you to kind of just enter into that realm of law and just get it? Or, did you face any uphill battles?
Okay, sure. I'll say this. As I said, this was not the original plan. So in fact, when I originally graduated from Yale Law School, I didn't think I was going to go into immigration law. I mean, certainly while I was in law school, I did immigration clinic, and that was actually one of my favorite classes in law school. So it was something that I enjoyed, but, I thought I was going to do, human rights work. Okay. Human rights law. But, but I found out that, there frankly aren't that many jobs out there where you can just, human rights lawyer wanted. But what I found out that, practically speaking, okay, a lot of the work that we do in immigration is human rights. So my first foray into immigration law was specifically working on asylum cases, okay? And that is human rights. These are people who are fleeing persecution, and an opportunity to help them to get themselves established in the United States. So that was my first introduction to immigration law. And from there, I was introduced to other aspects of immigration, such as family-based immigration and also business immigration, which actually is the majority of what I do now is business and family immigration. Yeah.
So it sounds like there are different, and it's funny, as someone who has kind of dabbled into immigration, I'm an immigrant, my family's immigrants, and so forth and so on.
As am I.
Oh, you are? From where?
Yes. My family were immigrants from Ghana. Yeah.
Oh, mine are from Haiti, and okay. I was born in Haiti too. Yeah. And I remember, kind of just like dipping in it, and I'm like, oh, this is complicated. This is complicated stuff, because if you mess up something, it's not like it's not like an estate plan. If you prepare an estate plan, you can easily undo some of that stuff, right? Just by preparing a new estate plan. But I think if you mess up someone's green card, that's a different ball game. That's a different ball game. You are so right. So there's a different, and I have goosebumps saying this, but there's a different level of responsibility, I think, that comes with having someone's freedom, their safety, because asylees 100% of the time are fleeing some kind of immediate threat, right? So, it's a huge undertaking, and that's amazing, that you could weather that storm for 17 years. Because I can only imagine some of the things that you've seen. And it sounds like, there are common, not common themes, but there are so many different areas, in immigration law that you can really focus in on. So that brings me to my question. Okay. What are some of the common themes that you've seen, in your practice, whether it is, in the business section or the family-based petitions and so on?
Certainly. I would say a common theme that I have seen is just the ability to change not just the course of one person's life, but the course of a family for generations. And I think that that's definitely something that you can understand. As you said, your family is from Haiti, my family's from Ghana. And that's one thing that I love about being an immigration lawyer, that yes, I'm helping this one individual to get their legal status in the United States, to put them on the pathway to citizenship, but that's something that's going to have an effect on a whole family and generations to come, because once that family establishes themselves in the United States, there it is moving forward. In fact, all the Americans that are here now, whether it's a recent immigrant like myself, I came here to the United States as a child, or even if it's one of these daughters of the American Revolution descendants, or, someone who descended from the original enslaved people from Africa, it's once your family is established here in the United States, there's that effect that goes on for generations forward. So that's one thing that I really love about immigration. And I see that a lot of my original intents, original ideas that I had about, oh, I want to work in international development, I'm able to do, that in some respect with what I do. Like, just to give you an example, so many of the immigrants that I work with, by getting legal status in the United States, by getting the career and educational opportunities that are here in the United States, they're able to help their families back home.
Yes,
there are so many countries around the world that a large part of their GDP is basically remittances from immigrants in the diaspora who have gone abroad, who are working, who are sending money back home, whether to support families or to educate people or build up their communities. So I feel like in that small way, I'm still contributing to international development. So
I love that. And that's actually very, very true. And I never thought about it as changing the course of a family generation. I think that's very powerful, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, and I'm thinking, and, with my own experience, that's exactly what happened. Our family will never be the same because now we have opportunities that maybe we would have never gotten any.
Exactly.
So I love that you're aware of that and you practice in a way that facilitates that for your clients, right? And I can only imagine how thankful they are. We've had some immigration attorneys, on this broadcast, and their clients appreciate them so much. Even some of my colleagues, I look through their Facebook and it's just post after post of, thank you, attorney so-and-so. I'm like, this is just amazing. It's so amazing. And it's because, like you said, you're changing a family generation.
Right.
So I appreciate that. And, allowing us to just have this very small glimpse into your world. And, I hope to have you on again sometime. And I know time doesn't allow us. I have to head out. You have a tight schedule. So one day we can do this again and just do it.
I'd love to. Yes, just call me up. I'd love to come back again.
I know where to find you. You're in my state. Hopefully one day we can meet up for lunch too.
That'd be great. Nice. That would be great.
Yeah, that would definitely be great. So let me ask you this last question. If you could leave an impact on your family, friends, client community, what would that impact look like?
I think that, and in fact, I'll just say that impact I feel is, the crux of what I do in immigration law, because I'm not someone who's very litigious. I don't like the adversarial aspect of law, but when it comes to immigration, I see it as a win-win. Okay. It's a win for the individual, for the immigrant, for that family, but it's also a win for America. Okay. America is getting these people, basically Americans by choice, people who choose to leave their homes, their families, their communities, the culture where they're comfortable, and to make that difficult choice to resettle here in the United States. And I think that, you've seen it in your own family, in your community. I've seen it. These are people who are incredibly motivated to make it in this country and to give back to the United States. So we think about how many of, business owners, whether they're small business owners or large corporations or, established by immigrants. When we think of like entire industries, there's so many immigrants in, like, say, for example, healthcare or specifically home health, that, these are places that immigrants are enriching the fabric of America American life. So certainly I think that if, there's any impact that I have had is I've had my small contribution in helping these immigrant families and also helping the United States and, our communities here.
Well, you are definitely doing that, and you're doing it on a bigger scale, than you can imagine. Every client that we have, is ultimately impacted in a positive way, and they can spread that joy to others, in ways that we can't anticipate. So I definitely believe your impact is larger, than we think it is right now. In the event that anyone wants to reach out to you, for services or get in contact with you, what is the best way to reach you? I do apologize.
Certainly. They can reach out to me through our website. It's www.lojolaw.com. Also, for those of you who are watching on YouTube now, we also have our YouTube channel, LOJO Immigration. You can find us on either YouTube or also Facebook at LOJO Immigration, and we would be happy to serve you. So yeah, and thank you again for giving me this opportunity.
No problem.
This has been fun.
You know what, this show has definitely opened up some ideas I didn't know I had. I love learning from just women attorneys that are just doing their best, right? And just doing it well. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing us just a little glimpse into what you do. And, if anyone is watching, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment under here, and we will do our best to reach out. Otherwise, you can reach us at info@saintevelaw.com. There you go, right there. If you want to reach us on any kind of social media broadcasts, YouTube, Instagram, and all that, please follow, like, and subscribe. Tanae says, women attorneys doing amazing things. Yes, we are. Yes, Tanae. Tanae is also an attorney with the FDA. And she's also one of my good friends. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And once again, my name is Marie Eve Nadine Jean Baptiste. I am the owner and CEO of the St. Eve Law Firm, located in Towson, Maryland. Thank you, guys. Bye, Jonelle.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.